buggers. See where we go. Okay. We should be live. No, we're not. Right again. I think we're live. Are we?
We are live.
Yes.
We are live. As usual, checking for if it's live. Yes, it is.
Lovely
Show 171.
171, mate. How many? I mean, come on. Let's go. Let's just
but the thumbnail behind you says 170.
Does it really? Oh, yeah. I fucked that up. I should update that, really.
Oopsie.
Let me do that out right now. Just didn't. It's unprofessional of me, really.
Of course. Hey, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Fix episode 170/171. You know, it depends on what do you think episode is, right?
Well, you know, we don't do live. It could be anytime. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we roll. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all well. Had a week of absence. We were away last week. No Fix show last week for the first time in a long time. And the reason for that, I was out getting stem cells in Florida, Naples, Florida. So I want to start tonight's show by genuinely saying a massive thank you to Rob, to Dr. Mark, to Dr. Paul, to the other Dr. Mark, who looked a lot like God. I always think anybody who looks a lot like God should be trusted. To Robbie.
So wait.
There as well.
How does God look like? Because people have been struggling with this question for millennia.
Okay. He may be in Naples. May live there. May reside in Naples. That's how it looks.
So you want to say you get touched by God?
Well, touch sounds wrong, doesn't it? On a lot of levels.
No, I know. I like in a good sense, like he touched you, so you're healed. Like, right?
Well, all I'm going to say is this: massive thank you to all the guys, to Rick, to Robbie, to everybody who was out there. Awesome set of dudes. Treated us like kings from the moment we arrived. Tried their very best to give us the best possible advice. Fascinating area, really is. And the journey begins, you know what I mean? So they've told me to rest completely for 4 to 6 weeks, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. And then see what happens. So I'll probably give it till the first week of December. Then I'm going to try and go to the gym and just pick up like a 5-kilo dumbbell on the ropey wrist and see what happens. Do I get any pain or is it okay? And then going from there, really, mate. I'm just going to start with they told me to do loads of light repetition movements to start with. Try and just encourage some movement back into the joint. And if I'm not seeing a lot of pain, build it up nice and steady. And that's going to be the plan. I'm going to do exactly as instructed. You know, I've checked in with guys like Dev just to make sure, you know, what did you do? Because obviously everybody's seen the benefit that he had. And is astronomical. So if I could get anything like that result, I'd be over the moon. So I'm just going to do exactly what they've told me to do. But the guys were fantastic. Saw Sarah Backman out there. She was getting a shot in her arm. She'd had some tendonitis in the outside of her forearm. So she was out there getting treatment as well. Yeah, just a really, really unusual experience. Caught mild degree of AIDS. We're back. A lot of people will and coughing and spluttering. Uncle John caught a really bad dose. Yeah, he was rough as hell. So Uncle John, if you're out there watching, hope you get well soon. Hope you
what did he say? What did he get?
Florida AIDS, he said. Yeah, he's got some kind of killer virus that he picked up in the swamplands of Florida.
What?
It was going around, so I'm going to say a lot of people on the plane coming back, they were rough as hell. So it's just trying to duck and swerve it best you can. Luke Pulch is in the chat. Luke, how you doing, brother? Sent us over some information earlier on. Lots going on to talk about, mate.
Yeah. I'm actually working on something for Luke right now, so shout out to Luke.
Really? He's not going to be there, is he? But you're going to see him at the next gig, aren't you? You're going out there for a different show.
Yeah.
Want to give a bit of a plug? Let's go.
Which one?
The show you're going to. You're going over there, aren't you?
No.
Okay, well, I'll that up. Talk about your old van backfires. I thought you were going over straight after you first.
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Really live.
Oopsie.
we got we got another super chat just popped in from Devon's classy finger.
Yeah,
Will
I don't know that was classy finger. Cheers, boy.
Great. Look, get this. Well, he's been there before, hasn't he? In his hat. It says, "Will we see us next weekend? If we is standing in mirror, very likely, son. But myself and Ray will be there.
Yeah.
And Dr. Mark is going
Mm.
from Vitacell. He's going to be over. There's a big lad, you know, Dr. Mark.
Hey, God is coming to Turkey.
No, other Mark.
Oh no,
other Mark.
Oh, different.
This is the original Dr. Mark, and he's a big dude. Looks like he could get into pulling himself, Ray.
Okay.
And you leave tomorrow, yeah?
I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
Early doors. So tell everybody what you're going to be doing out there.
So I have this big plan. I'm bringing my assistant with me. He's going to help me a little bit for this because I just, it's so much work. It usually you can, like, we want to do too much, and for one person it's just too much. So we'll do as usual all the interviews with all the athletes. I have like better setup. Like even now I'm using a light and everything, you know, audio will be better, lights will be better, everything will be better. We'll do we'll have the interviews before the match and after the match. So most of the time athletes just run away. There's no running away. So I want to hear their thoughts. If they won, if they lost, we want to share this with the fans. We want to make sure this sport grows, right? Arm wrestling is having more interest than ever, right? It's at the peak of everything. So my job pretty much up until the event will be just making videos, showing behind the scenes, talking with athletes, all those things. I will have a table set in my room for some.
Are you honestly? You're gonna get a table?
I called Engin and I said, Engin, I need a table. She's like, we can do this, no problem. Perfect.
Well, you're gonna run this like, you know, like the boxing shows, like we talked about before, where you're gonna basically like we do at ARMWRESTLING, we head to head them.
No.
Is it individual athletes?
It will be individual. Maybe sometimes I'll put a pair depending on who is fighting who. Because if there is a language barrier, it makes the whole thing very, very difficult for everyone. So it's much easier. So if the athlete speaks Russian, right, I'm going to talk with him, we're going to put on subtitles so people at home can understand him and people, the fans.
That is a lot of work, Ray.
Right. Yeah. This is why I'll need help. And then there's some other things that we're going to do. And I already have a plan prepared. I made a video. People, I just asked for help with the questions and people put on a lot of good questions that I'm going to definitely use. So I want to thank you with that. If you haven't done it, want to do it, go to Voice for Arm Wrestling after this show and just second to last video, I think, is we need help, and just post your question to any of the athlete on the card. We'll ask it, and then we'll see how it goes. I want to make this the best experience we have had so far, because this is the best card we have seen ever, like by far. Like I've talked with so many people, like even the people that are not that much, like they will know, they usually just want to see one match, or they just want to see the card. They just want to see the card. And of course, the main event is, in its own sense, is just so big. The thing is, I'm arriving, an hour later, Devon is arriving. So if most likely I will get a straight an interview with him that we're going to post straight away while riding in a cab with him to the.
But you're going to travel with him from the.
I think, well, there's no point for us to not go together, I think, right?
Because there's only him and George coming in, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Who else is going from Latvia then? Just yourself, and is any of the other guys going, like Sam?
No. Everyone wanted, but then they did, like Giannis went to combat games in Saudi Arabia with Sanders, and they just went to Switzerland for that event, and then it's just it's too much, right? It's just too much for, you know. But we'll see. Like I was looking at the hotel, and it's sold out. It's sold out, and you know how huge that hotel is, right?
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely surprised. So you may have spoken to Engin. I had a quick chat with Engin tonight before we came on, just on the WhatsApp, and he was saying he wanted to let everybody know again, if they weren't already aware, that John has decided to lose the weight. So John is coming down for the title match. That adds another layer of interest, doesn't it? Really, because I don't know whether that's too much of a bite, but I also hear that Sasha is pulling Tyne off first. so he's going to pull Tyne off and then John. Is that what you thought?
I think it's so. I think so. Yeah.
May level the playing field a little bit, but I know that John's made that cut pretty quick. And obviously, as you get older, not as easy to make a cut. At least that's my excuse. The one I will be sticking to. Notice J-Wank has just come in there. Jason Statham, almost fame in the chat, and he's put, let's go pulling in Ray's room. I think he means like not an arm wrestling table.
Is James coming?
Yeah, he's going to be there.
Awesome.
So James going to be. Is it? You're not talking about an arm wrestling table. You're talking about just a table, aren't you? Like a sit-down table. Or are you talking about an arm wrestling table in your room?
This is an arm wrestling show, Neil. Compared to all the jokes we've been telling people.
Oh God, that's going to get messy.
No, I want an arm wrestling table. I want to do some like I've been doing these small short form videos that I think is just for where the social media is going. I just have to do them because I think it's better to condense the information, and then there's always a link to a bigger video that we have done in 20, 30 years ago, right? So I want to do some of these with some of the biggest athletes on the planet, which will, right? And I did one with Raimons Antonovic explaining top roll. Raimons has pretty perfect technique for top roll, like basic top, just right. So I wanted to do a hook. I wanted to do a hook, and me and Sanders we talking. I said maybe I'll do with you, and he said I don't know. And then I said I'll ask Ivan Matyushenko to explain that, just to show, right? Who does it better than him, right? There's maybe 5 people in existence. So I'll try to get that as well, just as much as I can from anything we're doing. This is why Engin said the whole week I'm pretty much going on Monday and leaving on Monday, right? Mm-hmm. I'm happy with that because we're just going to do so much work. It's just going to be. Yeah.
Well, I think the Sunday is going to be great. I mean, because it's that chill day, innit?
Yes.
Ordinarily, let's be honest, everybody pulls a frigging all-nighter.
Yeah.
Paul Lynn's wife cracks a bottle of vodka.
No, I'm going there. The sole purpose is to work, just content, just create content.
You're not even going to get drunk.
Saturday night. I'm gonna just chill because I want to just as soon as we finish, I want to flat out all the interviews after the event, right? And while we do it, we just have a few beers. And I know Luke Pulsher is not coming, so my beer is safe. So
you never know.
Yeah. When are you coming?
Oh, I'm only coming out Thursday.
Thursday, perfect. So I want to get you as well for the interview. We'll schedule time and just do something with you as well because I just want like 11 will be there, Michael Todd will be there, right? And there's a few more that
I don't know whether Mike is going now.
Right? What?
I don't know whether Mike is going.
Okay, because Mike was commentator with us, right?
Yeah. I don't quote me.
Okay. You know why I'm because we are both running, right?
Yeah, and you seen me run, Ray?
It's amazing.
I mean,
did they put some stem cells in your
They need to, wouldn't they? You know what I mean, at least we're not doing the full flights of stairs anymore.
Yeah. You never know. Hey, you never know.
The option is you anchor commentate, and I'll do when it's not a Russian speaker. I'll do the after interviews. And stuff.
Yeah, that could be good
when it's English speakers. But anyway, it just makes more sense in some respects because I'm going to be down there, and nobody will be manning the.
Yeah.
Unless of course somebody else comes in. You never know. I'm sure Engin is working on that right now as we speak.
Hey, Levin is there.
Good. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, you'd have to have an echo chamber. You've got to set up some kind of echo effect, wouldn't you? With like an ogre echo.
Yeah.
So every time he speaks, just bass it up big time. And I mean, it might sound crap, but it'd be piss funny for the first 5 minutes. I'd like that.
Everyone is in the chat just saying Michael is not coming. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, obviously Michael's had bad personal circumstances, and
okay, yeah, right. Okay.
Heart goes out to you on that one, Mike. Really sorry about that.
Yeah.
Not at all. And obviously Travis isn't going to be there because on the other side of the coin, Tyson is killing it. The Bears.
Very, very good for him. Very good for him.
Brilliant. Kid deserves
the support that he's getting from arm wrestling community is insane, right?
Well, it's lovely, isn't it? To have a guy, who's doing well like that, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Every credit to the lad.
I think it's just great that we should be supporting to everyone, right? Whoever is trying to do something and doing something good, just be supportive. Don't be angry, don't be jealous, or just, we should support.
And I think that, in life, some people really do deserve all the success they get, and I really believe like Tyson is one of those guys. Kid's clearly an absolute athlete, and let's be honest, if you watch the combine, you got to see that. I mean, he's incredible. Just watching the lad, and the fact that he'd broken the records that he'd broken on the way up to getting to the NFL, which was so impressive. All-time records he's broken. And what I understand, Ezra, his little brother's pretty good as well. So you never know. It might open some doors for Ezra, which would also be awesome. Might become like an NFL family. And yeah, great to see that. I'm so happy to see it work out for Travis, for Casey, all the family. Absolutely spot on. But it does leave us a little threadbare in some areas over there. But it's not a problem. You never know. Maybe the mighty Paul Lim will come in or something like that. You never do know. But let's talk about some matches, mate. Obviously, I can tell you this. Sarah Backman looks really, really, really ready. She looks.
I was just in Lithuania, so I thought I would see Egle. I thought she maybe just will come for the event, but I didn't. So I don't know, but Sarah is a bad girl.
She is, and she's very,
in the
very
best sense, right?
Yeah, she's very focused, mate.
She's super focused. Very passionate. Yeah.
Yes, one of those athletes that takes it to the next level of serious. She's not playing games. When she commits to something, she really, really commits. And how do you see that? I mean, Egle, obviously a gigantic frame. If you're looking at sort of natural, big-framed athlete, there's probably no one to match her. But you do feel like as a technical puller and as just a professional approach to the game, there's not many people that top Sarah. How do you see that going down?
So with Egle, you never know which Egle will show up. I think the match she got from Gabby last time kind of woke her up a little bit. I would hope so, right? She didn't pull on Worlds. She didn't go to any other events. So we don't know. From the past success, you would think Egle would just crush her. But the thing is, I think all the favor right now is in Sarah's side because she's coming down in weight, right? Egle isn't 90 plus. They're gonna pull at 80 kilos, right? And Sarah is much closer to that weight than Egle ever was, right? So Egle will be much smaller, much lighter. Sarah is looking strong as hell, right? From everyone who I have talked to, they say like, ooh, right? So I think Sarah is the favorite in this one, right? But we never know. We will never know. And top of the female arm wrestling, where the top girls are, it's less than 10 pullers who could give good competition, and we're going to see two of them go head to head, right?
Great shame, isn't it, really, that there's not more depth at that level I suppose even in the
I think that there's levels, right? I would say there's that level and there's one below, right, with a little bit lighter girls, and then
there's loads of them.
It's crazy. Like the field there is crazy. You just turn on. I just watched Swiss Open. Carolina Pedersen won. Lucia Dobrano was there. Victoria Carlos, Rebecca Martin. It's so many, and they're all just exchanging wins and losses, right? So go a little lower. There's more, but at the top, very lonely, very, very lonely.
Yeah. And I suppose that the air gets thin when you get up to that kind of level. Even with the super heavyweight men, the same, although we are in probably the golden age of the super heavyweights in many respects from an athlete perspective. I know we've got a few guys out with bits of injuries and ailments. Obviously, Morozov struggling at the moment. We've got Gennady still recovering. Levan, I hear he's doing well. It'll be really interesting to see him out there, just to see how his wrist is, particularly as I've just had mine done. So I'm keen to speak to him and just see what kind of, how long it took, because I think it was August he had his done, something like that. Like a couple of, was it August or September? It was a couple of months ago, I think. So it'd be interesting for me to see how long it was before he started to, see any real benefit in the wrist. And I'll try and emulate that a little bit. If he says, "Oh yeah, I couldn't work for 5-6 weeks," I'll do the same, and then just come back and start really light, and see where we go from there. So let's look at other matches, mate. And there's a couple. I'm biased as hell. There's a couple of matches that really, really interest me. Zaur Palzalayev and Georgie Acid Svetkov. For me, I can't frigging wait. I think that could be a great match. And I'm biased, as I say, I genuinely am biased. I really want Georgie to do well because I love him. He's absolute class.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to win. Unbiasedly, I do think he's going to win. I think he's got a lot of headroom. And I think he'll probably have trained very differently for this. And I think he could come in extremely strong. But Parzalayev, last time we saw him out, been seriously injured, still did well in the fastest recovery that I've ever seen from any strength athlete in any capacity at any time. I mean, a matter of months after he tore his bicep, he was back doing stupid lifts. And then he competed at the AMC and was second place. So truly remarkable to recover that quickly. Do you think we're going to see a very different version of him out here, mate?
So I kind of missed the hype train. Everyone was like, when he won AMC, like I think 2 times, right?
Twice on the bounce, yeah.
Right. Everyone just like, he should beat Levin. He should beat Levin, right? And now they're still like, oh, he's the guy. And I'm like, I just saw him pull Silayev and Vitali. That's all I saw him pull. And it was a tournament, right? He is talked in a bad, what I read and heard was he trains mostly with weights. There's not a lot of sparring going on. He's strong as hell. I don't doubt that 1 second, right? Yep. But I don't know, right? And I think this is for us to figure it out, to see exactly, is the hype real, right? We kind of like Georgi, I kind of can put, but even it's hard to put him, right? He had an amazing match with Jerry Kaderet, and then he beat Morozov, but Morozov wasn't Morozov, in my opinion, right? And he's strong, and I really don't know. I don't know. And we will figure it out. Is the hype real? Because people got so hyped behind it. I remember there was one point everyone was just Zaur. And I was like, it's like, it's weird that you go straight to the top. Like he beat just few guys in the tournament. That happens all the time, right? Guys win and lose in tournaments. That's pretty much arm wrestling. And just like, this is the #1 guy now. I'm like,
you don't feel like the whole social media age has come out a bit? Like impulse. Reactions to athletes, even the amount of arguments I've got in over Tyson Fury. I love Tyson Fury as a guy. He's a brilliant guy.
He lost.
But I actually thought he won. I thought he won. But the fact that it was that close was interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ngannou is awesome. I would just right. The whole thing was just, I thought it was great. It was great for boxing. It's great for everyone, right? There's more interest than ever. Maybe Tyson Fury lost some of his stock, but it's okay. He rebounded from way worse shit, right? He was in a pretty big hell, right?
I love his honesty. He's a very, very straightforward, very transparent guy.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. Really endearing character. Yeah. And I know that he's obviously got he wants a rematch now. And I'm sure it'll be frigging big money when he does, you know what I mean?
Big. I want to see it. I think if you're not like, if you're MMA fan, you want to see it. If you're a boxing fan, you want to see it.
Yeah.
If you just like, hey, let's see, because that match was great, and but social media is social media, and then of course there's hype behind it.
Venom into athletes, doesn't it? They'll get a few wins and suddenly, okay, can't be beat.
Can we beat
this guy?
Yeah.
And we saw it with Bacho. We've seen it with so many guys that have come in and they suddenly get this injection. It's not that easy, and it's not that straightforward.
No, it's the thing is, it's literally arm wrestling, right? You go to tournament, you win some, you lose some. Everyone's kind of surprised. Oh, you lost to this guy, or this guy beat you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like if let's say I beat guy A, right, and let's say one guy beats other guy, and it happens like for 5 years, and then at one point this guy beats this guy a few times, and then they switch. If you wouldn't think that is possible, right? Because people think it's like magic. I'm like, you think no one changes, right? You can't get better. Like literally, like we pull one time and it's forever. No, it like you will definitely had in your career, especially in UK, guys that you pulled for decades, right? For decades, the same guys were chasing you. Sometimes they were close, sometimes they beat you, sometimes they lost, right? And it sometimes wasn't even close. And sometimes it was like, you know what I mean, right?
100%.
all the time.
100%. Yeah.
All the time.
Tip and tuck, once you get to a certain slight mistakes, can lead to major differences up there. You mistime it, you're off color, you didn't sleep well, you know. Anything can throw you off your game.
The big thing that I want to, like, whoever is listening, right? The big thing, and people are always surprised by this, right? The biggest threats to any athlete, most of the time, if it's a good country and you have good level in your country, are the guys from your own country, because everyone knows you so well. Like if you go, let's say, some guy will go to worlds and places very high, and they just pulled him once, maybe twice. They haven't pulled him again. Like you go back and he's like gets third place in some tournament in like their own country, and then he doesn't win, and then he wins again, because everyone pulls everyone. They understand each other much better, right? And it always surprises me that people think like this is magic, right? This is arm wrestling.
It's a really good point, Ray, because many times back in the day on the fix, we used to talk about the fact that super match arm wrestling and tournament arm wrestling are very different things, and there's certain arm wrestlers that have a propensity to do very well in a tournament environment. There's another guy that's going to do well in a super match environment, and you never know. Now, I do feel like Zaur Pauzalayev is very much proven in tournament. You know, he's pulled against a lot of very, very powerful lads, and at the WAF, had wins and losses. Then he's come into AMC and he's hit a Rich Vayner form. I do feel it as yet. Go on. Put a cat. Which one's that, Ray?
Mickey.
Is this a new cat?
No.
You've always had it, because you got the ginger cat, whose asshole we've seen many times. I feel.
Yeah, ginger cat lives with my brother now.
Oh my God, you've let go of a cat. What happened? That must have been hard for you.
They were trying to kill each other. So
makes sense. This guy and the ginger cat were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, but this is the nicest cat ever.
So that's the nicest cat. So you kept the black cat.
Yeah, he's the best.
I mean, he is a cool.
I have the gray one somewhere here, but I think the light is just good. So you see,
it adds that little bit of intensity to you as well. The putty cat there with his green eyes. Right, so I'll say, I believe like Zaur is a little bit unproven in super match competition. He may be sat at home and saying, "Shut the you bastard."
Well, it's everyone can get angry, you know. Someone will we will say something. How dare you? Yeah, but it's literally facts what we're speaking, right? Prove yourself, then I'll get behind you, right? I couldn't get behind Devon, who won Michael Todd in 2021, right? I couldn't say at some point it was maybe the strongest. I was like, no, let's wait. We waited. He's pretty good now, but he's not the best ever. We know that, not the strongest ever. He still has some mountains to climb, right? Just wait, test. Let's test, right? Let's test. That's the thing. People forget it. It's. I was thinking this yesterday because someone asked me, like, we were in Lithuania. Someone asked me, like, why is Giannis a legend? Like, I said, like, the thing is, when Giannis, like, he won 4 world championships in a time when he won. He was absolutely the best guy in that weight. He know because he went everywhere and beat everyone. And
and so complete.
Yes.
I mean, if you look at even down to things like, I mean, take something outside of arm wrestling, but related of a fashion, but just take down conditioning.
Yeah.
Giannis is not a young man, but he's incredibly conditioned guy, incredibly technical guy. Very, very rarely misses a beat, and he's always dangerous. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter who. You're going into a match around at or around that weight class with Giannis Amelins, you're in a match. It's as simple as that. The guy has just got pedigree through the roof.
So all I'm saying is give everyone time, right? It's nice, but the problem is sometimes, like this social media, we create stars and we kill stars very fast. Everyone forgets about it. Like, I remember when the hottest thing ever was Chan Shaw, right? There was this moment, right? Derek Smith, when he beat Tim Bresnan, got into matches he should never been in at that point.
And I love Derek. Derek's ace,
right? It's like it's just how it is, and I think it's just slow down. You know, we mentioned we're trying to say this to Saunders. He kind of understands it, but well, if someone offers you pull Devon, like Neil Pickup does, you pull Devon. Right? There's yeah. If you would, hey, set me up with John Brzenk on that note. But well,
yeah, I've got that match coming. So you just if this, I booked it a couple of weeks ago. It's, you know, particularly if he's lightweight, he might actually be relatively human. You know, but yeah, John's one of those guys. Everybody just you want to pull.
Yeah,
of course you do.
Why not? Why not?
You know. Oh, we got a super chat. BTNT, thank you for your super chat, brother. Let's have a look. And he has put. Why is that not going away? Let's just.
What direction of promotion is Core Sports missing?
Yeah, what direction is Core Sports missing?
Promotion of the event, he thinks, or something. I just think with maybe the thing is, Core Sports Start was the platform for the events, right? It wasn't promoter, right? Now they definitely trying to do much more to promote the events, right? And it of course helps. Like King of Table did their like fan questions, that was pretty good, and all different things. And they started their own channel where they went with the live streaming of the press conference, and then of course pre-show, and it's all just going to grow. They're not missing anything. The thing is for East versus West,
what direction of promotion is Core Sports missing? I suppose it's not necessarily Core Sports. I suppose one thing that arm wrestling generally is still missing to some extent is a significant number of really popular pullers. You know, we've got a handful of guys that move the dial. A handful.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, let's, you know.
And then there's few who are like 10x, right? Yeah. 10 times bigger than anyone below them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just give us a time, 2-3 years, there's going to be more. And then there's going to be more interesting matches to carry out the events, right? I remember like East vs West 4, and he said like, I said, this is the best card ever. He said, I don't think we can keep on doing this. I said, most likely we can, because more they pull, more interest there is, right? If someone beats someone in tournament, we can finally set it up, right? We can finally set it up. And if it's a big enough name, he can carry that event. He can absolutely.
I think this is a really positive step. Well, you know, we've spoken about this many times, but I think this is a really positive step with the whole pre and post and all of that stuff, and that, because people buy people, they buy that background, you know. And I think without that, you don't give the people the opportunity to really buy into arm wrestlers' characters. And the more of that we can get out there, the better. Seeing the nuance of the individual characters is critical. So the more of that we get, I mean, take someone like Zal Pazalayev, right? We were just talking about the guy. Who really knows about Zal Pazalayev, really? You've seen him pull, big, strong dude, but nobody really knows his character, knows anything about him, really.
Well, that's my job, and I'll try to bridge that gap, right? Yeah. That's the plan.
DENIS. Yeah. Quiet lad. Very reserved. I mean, my God, we've seen evidence of it here, you know. But we do need to get that out there. We need to get that message out there. Paul Italia Cigars coming with a super chat. Too many people are underestimating Toddzilla. Toddzilla is right there. That match is probably actually my favorite match on the card. I'm not going to lie. I really like that match. And why I like that match is because a lot of Kurdecha's success is not the style that does well against Todd. He's not the guy that's going straight through, charging the light brigade, straight to the pad. He's the guy that gains, he backs off matches and he gains ground, and he literally out-arm wrestles his opponents, you know? Yes. That is interesting because Todd doesn't care about his wrist, but if he can put the brakes on, he's got as much or more power, and particularly now, than anybody in that class. And so you've got arguably the strongest man in the division for raw top-end red line strength versus arguably the very best arm wrestler in the game at the weight class. They're both right there. And that, for me, is very, very interesting. Fascinating match. and I'll be surprised if anybody clean sweeps the other. To be honest, I will be surprised. I'll be a bit gutted, actually, truth be known, if somebody clean sweeps the other. I've got high hopes for that match. I think it could be an absolute banger. Is it? Are you interested in that one? Is it one that excites you, or are you less bothered about that and more about the main event?
No. I love it because I think it's it's a challenge for both of them, right? Todd, I don't think Todd will try to out wrestle him. Will try to beat him, right? Outlast him. You know, get in his best position and just press through. For Kurdecha, it could be many different things, right? He's fast, explosive, young, strong, very technical. There are options, but Todd, sometimes he doesn't care about your options. So for me, it's very interesting. In my opinion, Todd is the favorite in this one.
You've got Todd. Okay.
I got Todd. Yeah, I got Todd by. I don't see outside winning against Todd in this one. I would see maybe Kurdecha, but Kurdecha, I don't think he can hook on that level for sure.
No.
Right? He did very well versus Michael Todd, and but it's different. It's not the same. So for me, 3-0 from Todd. Like Todd will, like, this is Todd's chance at getting the title. Right? He was at one point put in a super heavyweight because he was just too damn good. We all know this, right? He was just too damn good, and no one, right? Everyone said they want to fight him. Come on. So this is his chance to hold that belt, and I think all the things that Devon said has lit a fire under his ass like nothing else.
And he came in incredible shape when he pulled against Ibrahim.
Yes.
You know? Who looks strong.
Oh, definitely.
Ibrahim looks, if you walk past Sargot, he looks strong, doesn't he? Yeah. He walks past you and you're like, you can feel
fast, fast on the inside, just insane.
Yeah.
And Todd just, it wasn't easy, but Todd was good.
He was never running, was he? Let's be honest. He was like,
I think if the thing is on table that, let's say Devon beats Denis, and then he said he wants to go after Kurdecha, and Kurdecha doesn't have the belt anymore.
Great story.
For another rivalry.
Great story.
Great storyline. I love this.
So
the thing is,
it's about,
and whichever case it is, right? If Kurdecha wins, and or Devon loses, he goes down to get the number 2 belt, right? Or number 3 belt, whatever it is, whatever scenario it is, it's great. I think I just love it because it continues the excitement, right? We have something more to look forward to.
100%, mate. Yeah, 100%. I've got Kurdecha as a slight favorite, but I agree with everything you said in terms of as I said at the start, stylistically, Kurdecha is not, or his style of arm wrestling is not the most dangerous for Todd, because he's very much back and not straight through.
Yes.
That's the thing.
The top roll that beat Todd was Zaluya, who will be very much side pressure. He took the center away and pinned him, right? But when you're trying to go back with Todd, he's like, go.
I just had a message from Devon LARRATT. I can't possibly read. I can't possibly read. I sent Dev a message earlier. I didn't know whether he left. I put, we're going on the fix in about 15 minutes, mate. Any last minute info exclusive to messages you want me to put out there, and let you guys use your own imagination about what message he said he'd like me to put out there. Not going to read that, Dev.
So I was like, I really don't care about all the drama. I don't watch all the things, right? It's too much things to focus on, right? And I was doing dishes, and I was like, oh, Devon's video. I put on a video, I'm doing dishes.
Oh.
And I'm listening to it, and it's Devon's apology. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I have to go back and watch.
Hey, one thing that did make me laugh and it won't carry over to the Eastern European lads the same because they won't be familiar with the show. But one thing that did have me crying with laughter was the Count thing. You know, when they were on the show and he was going on about the Count from Sesame Street, and after everything he says, he should go, I was pissing my sides at that. When that first came on, I was laughing my ass off.
I was like, how did even this I just couldn't. So I can't wait to be in Istanbul.
You get a bloody sit between them. That's the thing. Oh, actually, maybe you don't. Maybe they don't have a head-to-head. Maybe that's not a good idea. A head-to-head between those guys before the event, probably not good.
Let's do it. I don't care.
Yeah, it might be a bit tricky. You never know. It could get a bit fearsome. But
well, just put Engin in the room. No one's going to do anything. Come on.
That'll be all right with Engin.
That is true.
I don't know what he did say at one point. He wasn't going to sit him on the same table at the presser. Whether or not that's the case, we'll have to see. But
of course they should.
They'll keep professional. They won't. Nothing will happen. I don't think.
Yeah.
So Doug Ehrlich is in the chat. Doug, how you doing, mate? I haven't seen you for a while. I speak to Doug from time.
Doug Ehrlich. Oh,
the messenger. Obviously, very strong lads. Cheers, fellas.
Hope Doug's doing good.
How long before we see you back on the table, Doug? Put us in the chat there. Let's have a see when you're going to be back in the mix. Let's have a look what we got in here. So we can't ignore the fact that Sasho versus John is very interesting. I feel like the weight cut could be a problem for John. The last time I saw John, I think he was, 95 kilos when you're, what is he now? 50, 58, 59?
59.
59 years old.
Yeah.
Screw that. You know, that's a hard cut from where he was, from like that 110.
I guarantee it's very good for his health. I guarantee you,
it probably is, mate.
It probably is.
But will it make him weak in the interim? In other words, if he's dropped so quickly, do you feel like he could come in and be a bit depleted, or do you think he'll be okay?
I think he will be okay. I think it's still John. I think the arm strength is still there. Like he's not normal. He's not normal.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think he's going to have a problem getting the hand because he's so strong.
Yes,
the hand and wrist. But it's just, is the arm still there? Because it'll need.
He might even have a better endurance now, right? And most of the time, like you won't lose strength. You won't lose that much of arm wrestling strength. You gain weight or lose weight, right? Sometimes you gain weight and the difference is just not that big, right? It's just not that big.
But it can really deplete you, can't it? I mean, you know, if it's quick,
yeah,
it can be.
If he has to do like a water cut or something at the end, maybe that will be. But the weigh-ins are usually on what it is, Friday morning, right? And competition is Saturday night, so that's like 36 hours at least. So,
have you spoken to John at all in sort of setting up the pre-match interviews? Have you had any correspondence?
No. I'll speak to him when I think he arrives pretty late on a week, maybe on Thursday or something, or even maybe from Friday.
He's getting in late then, yeah, really late.
Yeah.
He's doing it the hard way. Fair enough.
Hey, but imagine John wins, right? I love Sasho. I think he's
great.
Sasho is probably will go down in Arm Wrestling Hall of Fame as one of like the types of Rustam Babayev and Hajimurad Zuluyev and Arseniev, right there, right? He will go down there because
he is extraordinarily difficult to beat.
He's, I don't know how many times, but at least 12, 13 something time world champion, right? Absolute machine on the table.
Unbelievable.
But I would love to see if John becomes the champion at 95 and just keeps on taking challengers there, right? Just keep him at some weight, right? And just let's get him doing that.
Yeah.
The
interesting thing there is, mate, with this particular match, I do get the feeling that it could end up a little bit like the match he had with Zirakashvili, because I think John can't afford to get into too long of a dogfight with this lad, because Sasho specializes in that.
The thing is, I have to be reminded when was the last time Sasho was fighting without the hand. And I see that happening in this match. And it's a big deal, right? When you used to have even a flat wrist, and that's how you've been pulling forever. I think John's thumb will be huge problem. He will have
Oh, yeah.
some connection, but I think John will take that hand. I really believe John will take that hand, and it changes the match. The match having this and not having this are two different things from any presser. Like if you're used to pulling like this, like there's guys just doesn't like Todd doesn't care
No,
if
it
it's
doesn't care at all.
this or this because he's used to it, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Sasha's matches, most of the time it's very hard to beat Sasha inside and outside, right? It's very hard to take his hand. Even if you get him, he stays flat. So he will have more inside wars than someone just pulling him outwards.
There's also a popular misconception that Toddzilla is all about side pressure. And whilst he has a massive amount of side pressure in what he does, he's also about holding his pronator and he's about dragging. He disables people's back pressure, matching the back pressure, and then sweeps to the side. If you want to see some raw driving side, watch some of this guy's matches. Sasho literally throws his frame sideways in an incredibly dangerous way. How his arm stayed intact as long as it has is remarkable. If you watch some of his matches, old school matches against a number of the guys at WAF, but probably I would say when he was at the 85 kilo class, 90 kilo class, and he was pulling against any of the Ukrainians, you tell me. Some of those matches, holy shit. He goes into some trench wars. Absolute.
Yeah.
Prudnik and him have had some. You chart back him and Prudnik.
Yeah.
Multiple matches that have been. And I don't recall Prudnik actually winning one.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't recall him winning one.
Sasha will have endurance for days. Like we saw it in Poland's match. He was put in a terrible position. He came out back really strong. I think he still has some shoulder problems, which will equal the field with John a little bit.
Yeah.
But John, the power will be, I think, on Sasha's side. That wow effect will be on John's side. If you haven't pulled John, you will never understand what we mean. You know this, right? We know this.
ARMWRESTLING is king.
It's insane. It's not normal.
I believe he wins that area with ease, if I'm honest. I'll be very surprised if he can't just take that. I just believe he will. Even with the Kurdecha match, he was dominant in that area until he got sort of exhausted and knackered. He took when I was speaking to John, and he's not the guy that makes any excuses, but he's very straight. And he said, I was not good. He wants that match back. Actually, it's a match that he wants to put as he does with Irakli, and both are interesting. I'd love to see both again. But I do believe in this instance, he wins the hand. He'll win the hand and wrist with relative ease. I do worry about if he can't finish Sasho early, how he may struggle in terms of endurance over the distance, because I think Sasho's specialist at that, and he's very, very aggressive, driving a guy outside his shoulder. So interesting matchup. I've got John, but just, and I think if I was John, I'd be looking to take the hand transition round and get and press finish, get him palm up and press finish. Not be easy at all. White Wolf, how you doing, brother? Come in with a super chat. But Arm Gods, the most energy and most atmosphere, the craziest fans, the best athletes, come to Carlingford, March 23rd, lads. Get there early. St. Paddy's Day. White Wolf, thanks for your super chat, brother. Carlingford, Ireland, 23rd of March next year. That event, guys. And I'm sure you'll see a great deal of promotion around it as well. Putting together a pretty solid card. Carlingford, Ireland, and that's 23rd of March. But let's think. What other matches do we really want to cover? We've got to go to the main event. I didn't want to go that early. But the main event, there's so many twists and turns that have occurred throughout this build-up. And let's be honest, for a lot of us, for me, for you, for most of the guys that are the hardcore in the sport, it's been building up for a bloody long time. I mean, you could chart this back to, certainly 2014 onwards, there was always the rumblings, There was always.
I wasn't even born.
But you were like a sperm.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have been.
I remember. I had a tail. That's all I remember.
You remember you were the fastest swimmer.
Yeah.
In your set.
I won.
Mm-hmm. Well, any other night, It's got to finish differently. But no, Rolly Ray, here he is. The world is forever happy, and so are cats. Because Ray loves cats.
I still receive at least one person a day will send me something on Instagram, like a cat video or something, at least once a day.
Well, that's good, isn't it? It's nice that people.
And I'm like, I have to look.
Yeah, you've got to do. Love a cat. Absolutely love a cat. We've had a lot of cats on here. We've had cats in various positions. We've had a lot of cats' arseholes. All kinds of cat-related stuff being on the show. But it's 171 shows.
Still nobody has found Danny Tesh.
And that's, all you need to know, guys, is he could twat your dad. And he's out there. Oh, yeah. He's out there. I fucking love Danny Tesh to come back and slap people about. Come on, Danny. If you're watching, if somebody's still in touch with Danny Tesh, let's go. Muscle Bike's in the chat. Silky Wilkie's in the chat. Nikolai's in the chat. Timmy Turner is in the chat. Troy Bounce Fit is in the chat. Stacey Morgan is in the chat. All of the usual suspects are here and knocking about, guys. And we're going to just start to talk for a little bit about our main event matchup. I was saying, this has been building up for a lot of years, mate. These guys have both been on real journeys to get here. I mean, the damage in Devon's arm, the fact that he was really struggling for a while after the surgeries, then he came back and he struggled to find his feet on both arms, took some wins, took some losses at the WAL, was then resurgent, came back, was rock strong, really got after it, took the loss to Levan, and then a new chapter, the new resurgent Devon. Vitacell Biologics got involved with Devon to heal those injuries up. It's clearly made a dramatic difference, as has his more professional approach to the sport. And there's a genuine hunger for this match. But interestingly, there you go. Bit of cat magic, ladies and gentlemen. Was that
yes, send it to me.
Go on.
Your boyfriend.
Shut the up. That's come over from Jamie James.
Yes.
Tell you what, mate, there's a reason I share a room with that lad. It's all about thoughtfulness with JCJ Wank. You won't beat him for that. You won't. But he looks particularly biblical at the moment as well. Wait till you see. And he's got some stem cells in him. You know that? Yeah. Yeah, he's also part umbilical cord at this point in time. So I don't know whether I don't know whether we are seeing the best of Devon Larratt, joking aside. But what I will say is that I think we're seeing a very, very strong version of him. And then he lost quite a bit of weight, I believe, going into this. A lot of you will have seen the post that he's put on there where he's genuinely shredded. I mean, he's incredibly lean. I think he said he was around 250 odd the other day, which is unbelievable. Will that make a difference, Ray? Is the weight a thing, or do you feel it doesn't matter?
There's, of course, it can sometimes matter, right? But if you're healthy and you're strong, that matters more than anything else. You could be as big as you want, but if you're not healthy and you're not strong, it doesn't matter. Devon definitely feels better this way than he felt by just trying to consume all the food in the world, right? So I think for him it doesn't matter. For Denis, we'll see, because definitely not going to be big as Denis we have seen. But he's going to come in strong. I guarantee you, he's going to come in insanely strong.
He's pushing hard, mate.
Yeah, I think it got really personal. I can't wait for the match. I can't wait for them. I really don't care about banter this one, because Dennis is such a calm person. He doesn't care much, right? He just wants to arm wrestle. We all want to see him back on table, but
have you spoke to him like in Russian? Have you?
Oh yeah.
This?
Oh yeah, many times. Yeah.
What does he say?
What do you mean? What does he?
Well, what's he? Does he understand that? Obviously, there's we talked about it the other week. There's a massive cultural difference, all right, and you're never going to get around that. But does he appreciate a lot of the fact that this is to put eyeballs on the match?
Well, I haven't spoke about that, but like when we talk, like Dennis really loves arm wrestling,
yeah, God.
a lot of people really think, I think because, you know, you see big, strong guy, you think he's kind of, you know, not too smart. He will talk in depth about things in what's happening in a match right now, about some other matches. He lives arm wrestling. Like, he loves the sport. I remember this since I met him in like 2018 when he had a match with Devon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing has changed. Like 2019 when he had health problems, right? And then he went to the final of top 8. I was there and we spoke, and he was so happy just to be there, be close to arm wrestling. He just wanted to get back. I don't know. I'll talk to him. I want to get in his head a little bit and understand how he feels about all this situation. But you know, you have to like, the thing is, I don't think it's for Devon. It's like, we want to sell this match. This match sells itself, right? There's no, you don't need any advertising for it. Devon was just, you know, doing Devon. Devon wants to fight you. Devon wants to bring you war. That's what he does. That's what he always does. He's trying to find any angle. And I think he found some good angles to push some buttons, because that's what he wants, right? You respond or you don't respond, that's on you, right? But he will definitely do it. And it's like, I have right there Art of War. So I know exactly what he's doing. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been doing this forever. And people say in 2018 he didn't much do. He tried to do it. He tried, but he wasn't so bold in his approach, in my opinion.
And also, I think there was a
yeah,
he
he
understanding
understood
from Devon there that he went into that as a huge.
Yeah.
I think he felt it was like, look, it's possible, but it's unlikely.
He's like, I'm just going to give my best try.
Yeah. On the left arm. I mean, you know, speaking to him before that, there was very much that feeling. This is different. This is a much more interesting match. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe, you know, maybe Denis comes in and he's just inhumanly strong, and there's no stopping him.
And there's and that's always the thing that we really like. I remember with Levin, right? Devon could get us. I said, I think there's going to be a strength gap that is just too much, right? Endurance and technicality gets you so far, but when you encounter someone who's just stronger at everything you do,
there's no
single thing you do, you can't do anything, right? That's the thing, right? Strength.
I find it hard to imagine that can happen. I really do.
Yeah.
You never know. Stranger things have happened. It could happen, but I've got Devon in a war. I think it's going to turn into. I think it'll start ugly as hell.
It's going to be. I think.
I do. I think it's going to be ugly as hell. I think it'll be a screamer, but I think both guys have that propensity to go ugly. You know what I mean? Paul Ugly, just lie out on it, and both of them do it well, and both of them have really solid endurance. So for me, I think that frame is important for Devon. He's got the superior frame, and I think that if there is a degree of fatiguing in the hand and wrist of Denis, that could open a lot of doors for a press option, which is or just to get in an unassailable position. One of the things that is concerning from Denis is that he's very good, very aggressive, violent drives to the side, which can open a guy up, as we've seen Devon's matches.
I'm excited. I think there's a lot of matches that could be match of the night.
Yeah,
but I think that will be. I don't see it being easy to either of the guys, and Denis doesn't want to make Devon quit. Denis wants to beat him, right? And the opposite is on Devon. Devon wants to make Denis quit. He wants this to be long, drawn out. He wants, right? So
wants the head nod.
We know how guys want to win. Let's see how any of them win.
I know that it's very much divided, the arm wrestling community. When you talk to people, you know, a lot of guys have got Denis, a lot of guys have got Devon for various reasons. You know, it's the guy that they want that mythical freak of strength that can't be beaten. Some of them want the character of Devon. They want that arm wrestling skill. We will see. It's about to go down. What are we now? 6 days away. You know, it's a match that's been talked about as much as any in history, if not more. To be perfectly honest, who do you think's got more to lose here, Ray? Who do you think's got more pressure?
I think Denis.
Mm.
Devon is putting his legacy on the line every time. And I think you just saw the video. It's his 12th super match of this year. I think something like that, right? So he doesn't care that much. And we really like, it wouldn't do much if he loses to Denis. We would be just like, well, okay, now we know, right? Now we are sure, right? If Denis loses, right, there's, now Devon maybe could have beaten him in 2008, 2009,
Yes.
right? So all these things. So I think he has the pressure, in my opinion, is on him, is because he's also coming back, and Devon has been in that game mode forever, right? I just pulled first tournament after, I don't know, 6 months off.
Mm-hmm. And you were looking ridiculous.
I just need more, because I felt good, but I was all over the place. I wasn't like I used to be. The goals, the starts, all the feel. It was just all gone because I haven't done it in a long time. So more you do it, better you're gonna be. Ring rust is a real thing. It's a real thing. Yeah,
it really is, mate. It really is. And I've gone mentally to try and map out the match in my head, how it'll go down, what will happen. There are certain things that you see in the training videos which make you feel like you can see it more easily, but I'm also very conscious of the fact that a training match is a training match, and the grip that's assumed within that training match may be very different from the one that actually manifests itself on the night. So you can't take too much from those, although there are some potential telltale signs when guys hit a certain spot, sticking spot. And that's what makes me think, from watching Devon's training sessions when he's at the Ottawa club, watching his super matches, watching how he approaches things and where he's gone more recently. And by that, I mean that there's a willingness to go more orthodox earlier, so it won't just be, it's all about that extreme outside and just going straight to kings. I think that that's there, and I think that that's coming out, because I think it's going to be a case of fight fire with fire for both lads. But I do think when there's a leveling, if it's close, I actually think the orthodox arm wrestling opportunity is there in more angles for Devon because of the superior height and frame.
Yes.
That's if there is if they're close. If they're close on strength, I believe that there's more opportunity in the orthodox arm wrestling for Dev. We're about to find out. I'm bloody excited about it, to be perfectly honest. Should be a hell of a match, but is it a one and done? If these guys face once, do you think that's it? It'll be, okay, there's the match. We never need to see that again. Or is it something that you feel like it could be an instant rematch? I don't know.
I don't know if instant rematch, right? If Devon loses in a war, right, and it's really close, yeah, why not? Let's do a rematch. If Levin is still out, right, Denis still needs, and we can't figure out who we want to put any of these guys next, right? I could see that if Denis loses, right, in a close match, let's do a rematch. In not so close match, he needs to get back into arm wrestling, right? He just needs to arm wrestle more. He needs to compete more. Like, I think it's a big deal. It's a big deal, guys. You guys don't understand. It's so hard to come back, and not just come back, to jump into a pool that you don't know nothing about, right? It's like, let's say you're used to swimming in a river, but now you're swimming in a different river with different streams, and you don't know nothing about the current, where it's going to take you. And it's exactly what's going to happen. So a lot of times when guys are coming back, we're bringing someone back, they're put in some position that might be familiar for them, but everything has changed. Both of the guys have changed. Maybe
it's frustrating in some ways, that, isn't it? Because Denis, let's be honest, we've only seen that one outing where he was clearly, he had a significant strength advantage. We didn't learn a great deal, but we also knew that John still wasn't fully healed, had been rough before the match, no doubt about that. We knew that was the case. I was speaking to the lad a week before the match. He was sick as a dog, absolutely sick as a dog, and yet he still came back and out arm wrestled. If you look at the manner in which Devon approaches his matches, it's hard to see any point in time where he's remained consistent in an area. He's always gone up. He's bigger. He's smaller. I mean, this time he's a lot more ripped, a lot more shredded. Looking at pictures of him, he looks really lean, mega lean, and yet he's obviously confident. Obviously feels like he's not detracted from his strength. Spoke to him a few weeks ago on the phone, and he said, "Look, prior to the intercostal injury, the lifts that he'd been doing were up in pretty much all lifts. You know, despite the fact that he's significantly lighter, so he's confident." And he obviously, like you say, is very much active, very much battle hardened. He's been around the game as much as or more than anybody. And you do feel like, or when I say you, I say I feel like if it gets to a situation where it's a close match in terms of top end strength and it comes down to arm wrestling, I struggle to see Devon being out arm wrestled here. I can see him being outpowered.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't see him being out arm wrestled.
Yeah, me too.
That's, I know I'll get the nut hugger comments and all that out, bring them on, but that's how I see it. Now, got a couple of super chats coming. BTNT, Devon and Dennis are advocates for starting in straps. Do you think they will for every round? I mean, I can't imagine it doesn't go to straps, but
if I was Devon, I would want to work that hand, right? And if I was Dennis, I think we saw the success that Hermes had without the strap. So I think he will look at that also as opportunity. We'll see. If they both start in strap, I wouldn't be surprised at all, not even a little.
There's been no talk of it from either side that I'm aware of, but I do believe it'll probably end up there.
Of course it will. Of course, yeah.
As most big matches do.
Yeah,
White Wolf with a super chat. He's put, Neil, are you in America or are you back home? I'm in England, mate. It's a small world. Should have let me know and go for drinks. Dude, I would have done. I thought you were based in Canada, brother. I thought you were up in Canada. We were in Naples, Florida. So it would have been a good old flight for you. And he's put, Ray, do you have any plans?
Plants?
Plants.
Yeah, but they won't survive long.
Yeah. Go plants, plastic plants. Yeah. Luke Bolcher's come back in with a super chat. But for all those talking about the refs protecting Dennis, or that said, I was on Devon's side, think how insulting that is to the puller. These two men will decide the match, not the refs. That is all. Absolutely, mate. And I like you say, Luke, I think both of them really want that. Both of them want this matters to these lads probably more than any other match they've had. And I think they both want to go out from this match knowing that they won or they lost. And I actually think either one of them will take the loss well. I've never seen anything to suggest that these guys won't take a loss well. I mean, they'll be pissed off. They'll be devastated if they lose, but they'll take it. They'll take it on the chin. They're both that guy, for sure. NWUK1, just showing my support, guys. Can't wait for next week. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate the super chat. They all help. And, yeah, we can't either. It's going to be an unbelievable matchup. The fact that Ray said that the place is sold out as well, that's interesting. Because usually there's a number of people in there, but I'd say it's probably a third full. What do you reckon? About that? A third full, maybe half full? So if it's absolutely loaded to the rafters, and I know there'll be a lot of guys there for each athlete, I think it'll be noisy as hell. Just what we like.
I hope so. It brings different energy to the event, right? To the stage. And it will help the event immensely. I know it's going to be different setup this time than every previous East versus West. So
that's right. Yeah. VIPs on the stage, isn't it, this time?
Yes. There's going to be a lot of people on stage, so a little bit of WL vibe.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works, right?
Darts, mate. Yeah,
excited.
Like, very, very different.
I can't wait. I think Engin is working really hard, and Neil, me, we're trying to do our best to make this bigger because arm wrestling has never been bigger. These events are great. It's just making us all grow, and it's just going to continue. If we can continue doing this, better it's going to go.
It'll be a bit depressing, won't it, when this match is done? Like, oh shit, that was the match.
Yeah, but I think it's going to open up doors to so many different things. I guarantee you,
matches can you put Dennis in off the back of this win, lose,
I think even right there on the event, Engin's he's like, hey, you pull this guy now. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, it's gonna.
There's a lot of, I mean, I would personally love to see Aramis and Denis. I don't know what the situation with Quick Vina is right now, but I'd like to see him back in the mix, strong and ready.
Oh yeah, well, he returns. I think he and Devon definitely needs to have a rematch.
Oh,
Absolutely,
100%. That was a great match. Yeah. Absolutely great, man. I see that there's a rematch coming with him and Hermes as well. I think that's an obvious rematch because last time
Hermes will take on Vitaly, right? On King of Table. So
King of the Table, December 9th. But guys, if you haven't heard, December the 9th, that's another solid card there. So Ivan Kozlik with the super chat. He's put, I'm expecting Devon taking high spot and telling Denis, yeah, Pink Babkin boy in Russian. He might be learning some lessons on that one, mate. Help Devon learn that Ray. Help Devon learn that Ray. I'll be dying laughing. I think he'll probably take the neutral on that one, mate.
Yeah. I like to observe things. I think it's too funny all the time.
It's gonna be supercharged atmosphere because you've got, I mean, Geordie's there for a start. I mean, that immediately that raises the tempo.
I can't wait.
It's going to be revved. Going to be revved. And think about the matches that have already gone, and there's not too many. The thing is, it's not one of those. I think the thing with this is there'll be a real hunger for this match throughout the night, and there's just an opportunity that we've seen two. I can think of 2 or 3 matches on this card that I think are guaranteed bangers, and that does help. If you've had a few matches that are, that really raise the tempo in the place, and I'll bet there's a lot of arm wrestlers that are going to this just as fans. I mean, top pullers. They're just gonna go. Yeah, I would imagine.
I think everyone, I guarantee you will be entertained with the card, right? It's just so many stars and future legends there. It's gonna be insane, right? Yeah. I'm happy just to be there and just to be observer right there. But if you can't, I think the pay-per-view experience is pretty damn good as well. So yeah, don't miss it.
Now, Ray, I don't know whether this will come across on the camera, but I'm going to try. So I've just had a message from James, right? And we had a little bet while we were out in Florida, and I can only assume that he's watched the footage back, and I'm buzzing. But he sent me this picture over, and he's taken a leaf out of your book, son. He's clean shaven. Can you guys see that? Can you see that?
No.
Tell me if it comes in view or anything. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not.
No.
That is annoying. You can let me fling this to you, mate, and you might be able to get it up.
Yeah, he's clean shaven.
Oh yeah, but he looks like way younger. Like it's taken, I don't know, 10 years off him. He looks way younger. It'll shock you. This.
He looks like he failed.
Look at that. I mean, mate.
He looks like he failed Hogwarts.
Soft as a baby's bottom, that face. Now I'll tell you, absolutely unbelievable.
I wanted to say something while we're still on. So yesterday was Swiss Open. One of the biggest tournaments I have seen in a long time in Europe. It was East West qualifier. I think there was 350 competitors, 600 something entries.
And the level was thick.
Insane. Like I think 92 kilo class had 37, 39 competitors or something. We sent a good team of Latvians. Overall, Rino Masic won both arms, if I'm correct. In overall, he was there. Kalichenko was there. Sanders was there. Sanders beat Rino with left on one pull, and then in the final he lost twice. I didn't want Sanders to pull. Sanders won 109 class, both arms. Also, somehow we really, because he's pretty beat up. Like he bought tickets like 3 months ago, and he's like, I should be going, right? And he was pretty damn beat up. But Sanders is a very good puller. We had Kristaps and Kaspars. Left arm, Kaspars second, Kristaps third. right arm. Kaspar's third place. Winner was I think Dmitry Mayorov. He lives in Swiss now. He's really legit. Like if you remember Moldova event, he won that event, right? At 90 kilos, left arm Peter Celis, second was Tooms, and right arm Tooms won. I forget who won, who got second place, but and then the lightweights I just didn't see because they had like four tables. The thing is, what I wanted to say. So we were in Lithuania. We finished competition at 9 there. We were driving away, and they just finished left arm. So I got home. I took a bath because I was beat up. I was just lying and watching the competition till 2:30 when they finished right arm. So the finals and everything, I think, was at 4-5 a.m.
Oh,
Yes. I don't think they were expecting so much competitors, right? Levin was there, Rustam Babayev, Snezhana, she lives now in Swiss. So it was just insane. Great event. I would love if there would be like a better live stream. Because even there, me and Yanis were all the time we were driving and just watching it on our phones and just talking. Like girls pulled, like Caroline Pedersen won, Lucia de Brno won, Barbora won the super heavyweight class, of course, easy as usual, right?
like the old over the top days, mate. That the over the top tournament went till early hours beyond belief for the more. It's good and bad.
It's good and bad. It will test you, right? You have to pull when your body is like, hey, we should be sleeping. Great on that one.
It looked like I mean, Reno Masic, can't say enough about him. You know, I love the chef. He's my guy. Reno Masic is on an absolute tear at the moment. He's such a talented arm wrestler. But
absolutely,
people throw around the whole, who's the new John Brzenk and all that. Reno Masic is for real. That kid, he's a baby, and he's monstrously strong.
There's few guys who had the same success. One of those is Sasha Andreev. Sasha Andreev wasn't 18 when he was senior world champion already, right? He won nationals one month after training or something like that. 3 months later, I think he won Europeans with one arm, something like that. A few months later, he won worlds same year. He is that talented. Reno Masic is in the same club right now, but heavyweights. And like I have an old video what I did, like I think 2021 or 2020, something like that, with Reno when I said he's biggest rising star in arm wrestling, and people are just watching it now.
I mean, talk about hit the nail on the head, mate. You really did with that one, because the kid is just a freak.
Yeah, I think I called you and I said like, hey, right?
This kid.
Yeah,
and he really is. He's mega,
and he's nice. He speaks good English. He's right, and he's just great guy. We will definitely see more of him, and I think very, very soon. So
yeah. I mean, you know the match I want in Arm Wars, and it's Sanders and him. Unbelievable. Just on that note, let's say there was an event coming up in early January, potentially, possibly. And there's a couple of guys that were really keen to get a crack at you.
Who wasn't? Like, of course, everyone wants some.
Yeah,
it's understandable.
We need to talk about while we're over in Istanbul too, because a couple of them are very suited to you stylistically. So that could be.
I would say Daddy's home. I think I'm
hot and ready.
Give me 2 months. I will try to compete as much as I can. I love that feeling. I just love to get back on table.
Well, let's think about it. Now, what do we got? Now you've got this. I mean, from your competitive front, obviously you've got the gigs like you'll be doing King of the Table, I'm sure. But from a competition perspective, what have we got now back end of the year? Are you going to be involved in it? Have you got anything else rigged up for pre-Christmas?
I'm organizing big tournament here in Latvia with Christmas Cup, and I'm gonna pull in there. I just and the thing is, it's most likely it's gonna be 90 kilo class. I'm right in the middle, but we just have to make it like class like that. So that we will have best Latvians like Toms, Vlad, Kaspars, everyone there, and the best Lithuanians for sure as well. So I think the level there is going to be crazy just from those guys, and we'll see who will ever come from our sides of the world. So it should be good. And I'm just keen on competing. I just want to get more.
Did Mindaugas show up? Terasatis?
No. He lives in Denmark.
Yeah, but he travels a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, not really, not really.
I was hoping he'd come. I mean, you never know. If he's coming home for Christmas to the Baltics, maybe he'll just think, you know what, I'll stop off in Latvia on my way
Yeah,
home.
we have some interesting training session planned at the start of December. I'm going to talk with Jason because he wanted to, so I'll invite him. If you want to tag along, we would be happy if you would.
This is good, mate.
Right?
You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
You never know what can happen. I am genuinely really excited to see. I'm going to do what it told me. Give it that 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to get in there, pick up some lightweights, see how we go. And if there's no pain, if I can start to put some meat on the bones again, oof, let's go. But yeah, Vitacell Biologics, cannot recommend them high enough. Obviously treated us like kings when we're out there. I'm so excited to see the outcome. We know what it's done to Devon. Can it do the same for myself? I can't wait to find out. But that journey's starting. I'll keep everybody updated. We got a lot of stuff coming out for the ARMWRESTLING channel members shortly, and we'll be doing some stuff on that. We documented the whole trip over in Florida. That will be coming out to you guys soon also. Listen, guys, we've been on here now for about an hour and a half. Going to let Ray get his beauty sleep. He leaves tomorrow. Any other messages you want to put out there, mate, before we wrap up?
Just stay tuned. A lot of stuff coming on Voice of ARMWRESTLING on East West West channel. Yeah, just we'll take you for this event. I want everyone to be involved. I want you to see what we see and be part of some of the great experiences we usually have.
There's a lot of this going to be live, Ray. You're going to be doing stuff. You're going to be doing stuff live from Istanbul, so there won't be recorded, or will it be mostly recorded?
Mostly recorded, but it's for me like if it's the hotel internet isn't that great, right? If you sit at your room, it's fine, but like it's So we will see. We'll try to. I'll try also to do some live streams as well.
Yeah.
Maybe get some athletes in it, but we'll see. Like as much as we can do, we will do it. That's my promise. That's my promise. Yeah.
Just noticed Pavlo Derbedenev is in the chat. Love him.
Pablo,
what a top guy! Absolutely, him and his lady were over there with us. Really, really enjoyed hanging out with Pav. Great guy. So that dude is strong. He really is ridiculously strong. And we were talking about potential matchups for Pavlo there. Yeah, very excited to see what comes next for him. He's taking things so seriously. Clearly just a naturally strong individual. Great lad. You'll not meet many more guys nicer than that fella in the game. He's a smashing bloke. Fantastic to see you over there, Pablo. And yeah, look forward to seeing your career go on and on, mate. Ladies and gents, what have we got? We had about 300 people in last time I looked. Before you leave tonight, if you could do us a favor, hit that like button. That will be ace. If you're not subscribed to the Voice of Arm Wrestling, please get over there now and show Rolly Ray Lipinch some love. This is a guy that works his ass off for the game. Nobody loves it more than Rolly Ray. He's going to be over there in Istanbul, as he says, doing a tremendous amount behind the scenes stuff, making sure he grabs all that hot off the presses info on the lead up to the most highly anticipated arm wrestling match in living memory. This thing is ridiculous. So much myth and legend surrounding this thing, and we're only 6 days away. Two of the guys that have massive followings around the world, massive belief from a lot of the arm wrestling community. It's going to get decided in the right place on the arm wrestling table, and I cannot wait to see it. I'm going to be over there commentating. Cannot wait to get over there. And yeah, I am going, guys. For those who say not going, yeah, I'm definitely going, mate. I will be there. We'll be going out on Thursday for the commentary of East versus West 10. I wouldn't miss this one. Come on. It's on. So I'll be hooking up with Ray for the comms over there. And yeah, we'll do our very best to make this an entertaining show for you. We'll say a big thanks to Ray, as always, for coming on. Want to wish Uncle John the best of luck with the Florida Raids. And hope that sorts out. And all the best to Paul Lynn. Maybe we'll see Paul Lynn next week over in Istanbul if the footy season is finished. For everybody else that's taken time to tune in tonight and check out the show, thank you so much for doing that, guys. We have one more show before we go out there, middle of the week. If not, I'll catch up with everybody when I do get out to Istanbul. There's going to be an unbelievable amount of content. Make sure you get over to Voice and check out what Ray's got coming out here. He'll be dropping videos regularly throughout this week. And as he said, he goes over there tomorrow. And as we know, Denis and Devon both heading to East versus West tomorrow as well. So let the games begin. Ladies and gents, that was show 171 of The Fix. We will see you all during the week. Biggity bong, mother fluffers. Biggity bong.
Oh, my camera died perfectly.
Yeah, as if we planned it.
Yeah.